not going to rely on the Google algorithm, which is a bit too much of a shotgun approach to find good content, and you spend a lot of time looking through junk. But I think that the other thing that we're going to see a lot of development of is the creation of online social networks of peers who are actually the key mechanism for providing recommendations and routes to finding the content that people find relevant. And that some of those networks of peers may be quite small. Sometimes there may be 20 or 25 people in a Facebook group, or even just in an email list. But I think that we're going to find that those collaborative networks of people working together, and often happening with that interaction now able to happen very often across geographical boundaries, it's going to be increasingly the reliance on our peers to point us in the direction of good things that they have found that we're going to depend on. I think that there is going to be a lot of work that still needs to be done by some of the corporate providers, Google, Microsoft, some of the others, in trying to create much more advanced search technology. I think one of the things that we have discovered is that search technology has a tendency to surprise us on the upside. I think, a few days before Google was deployed online publicly, it was very difficult for people to conceive of a search facility that would provide the kind of service that Google provides. But that service is really now ubiquitous to the extent that we talk about Googling obviously as a verb. I think as the person who's got a name made up of numbers is pointing out, I'm not sure, I think the semantic web has got a long way to go in terms of becoming actually a practical concept that will work for the average internet user. But I do think that the concept of trying to embed more intelligible metadata into materials and then using the concept or structure of the semantic web as a mechanism for enabling people to find content is going to grow significantly in importance. So I think we're going to see significant developments in search functionality in this area. I've been liaising with some of the corporates at global level, and I know that all of them have education on their radar as a key focus area. As people may be aware, there are lots of movements towards what's called cloud computing. In other words, where the delivery of applications is online. It's a very competitive environment at the moment. So Microsoft, Google, Apple, Facebook, all of these different environments are trying to persuade users to come and use their cloud computing environments. And I think we're going to see that they will be willing to invest quite significantly in creating advanced, increasingly advanced search functionality that enables us to find the educational content that we're looking for that's good quality without having to go through the kind of pain that we're having to go through at the moment, either trawling through OER repositories or else relying on the Google algorithms to find us good content. So I hope that that's something of an answer to those questions. But I think, to be honest, in response to Kirsty's original question, I think the truth is that it's very messy at the moment, and that we don't actually know exactly how it will work in practice in the future. But I think that what is clear is that things are moving in particular directions, and that if we hang on to the past way in which we've operated with proprietary content, and with not bothering to embrace and bring our students into these online education and content sharing environments, then I think we're doing our students a major disservice. And in the long run, as educational institutions, we're going to find that we are no longer competitive in the way that we would like to be. Because I think that competitiveness is increasingly going to depend on being able to harness and manage these developments effectively, messy and challenging as they may be at the moment. So, I feel like I talk a lot, but that's because Neil and I are the only people who are allowed to talk on this. So I'm sorry that you're just hearing my voice at the moment.
No, well, no, that's it. Well, if there's no other questions, then I think we'll wrap it up there. Unless does anyone have anything else they'd like to ask? No, well then, there you go. Well, first of all, thanks very much, Neil. That was really informative and really an excellent talk, and I think it kicked off the 40 sessions very well. To just say to you that, as you know, that session was recorded and it will be available on our website in the download section in case you missed anything or in case any of your colleagues would like to view it and download it. I'd also like to remind you that there are lots of other sessions coming up, and we have kind of 20 plus signed up for a lot of the sessions, but most people that signed up for the first aren't signed up for the rest, so I'd encourage you to do that ASAP if you'd like to learn a bit more about OERs. And other than that, I think there's nothing else left to do except just thank you all. Remind you that our website is www.40initiative.com, which I'll type into the chat. I encourage you to visit it, download this and our future sessions, and sign up for future sessions. So thanks, Neil, and thanks everyone for coming.
Sorry, Neil.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had my microphone on mute there. What I was just indicating is that as 844 has noted by print screening the presentation, the whole presentation is CC licensed, so you're welcome to do what you like with it, as long as you contribute the source. The other question I had was whether or not I'm able to upload a Word document to share with people, which they might find useful as a
you certainly can. There's a download section to our website, so if you'd like to either send that to me, you can. If you want to send that to me, and I'll make sure that that's uploaded up there, and then they'll be able to access that.
Okay. Let's. I'm just very quickly, if people have a few seconds just to hang on, I'll also try and look for a link to this document on our website. But that might take a few seconds.
If you'd like, I have everyone's email. I can send it on to them.
Okay. Yeah, I think is that okay with everyone? I will email the presentation to Neil, and he can then send it. Well, email the paper to Neil, and he can then send it on. But I think that's the best idea. Thanks.
Yeah, I think that's it, yeah. Okay, well, thanks a million, Neil. Thanks for that. I think that was a great start, and thanks for putting the effort in and getting us off to a good start.
That's a great pleasure. It's been fun for me, although I still don't have any idea whether I've done anything useful or not. So let's have.
No, I think you definitely have. You definitely have. So listen, I'll be in touch anyway in the next day or two.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for participating.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you.